Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's topic. Today's topic is about finding a why to live a more purposeful life, a more motivated life, and arguably one of the most proven ways globally for you to connect to that intrinsic motivation. What is it that truly drives you in your life's purpose right now? Despite the fact that I coach sales managers and salespeople around the world, I believe today's topic is for everybody. So if you get the chance, please download the workbook if you've accessed it and actually register for today's topic. If not, send us a message so you can use today's tool. It's the combination of the video together with a tool that you can access through the comments or by sending us an email, admin@salesmasterycompany.com. Request this specific workbook and tool, and then watch the video back again. Now, I am going to give you a short, sharp overview for today, but do feel free to extend the time allocation that I give you from today if you want to be purposeful, or if you've got a team member who maybe not so au fait with personal development or going through these sorts of exercises. In fact, I'm going to try to stick to 15 minutes or less. And if you want to do it in double time, half an hour is perfect. If you want to do it over an hour, that's okay. But what I want to stress here is don't spend a day on this. Don't spend 4 hours on this. Despite the importance of it, the very nature of the pressure that I instill into you means that you're going to get more of an honest outcome. If you overthink it, you'll overcomplicate it. If you overcomplicate it, you won't get it finished and you won't implement it. So what are we talking about today? Today, we're going through a very, very simple process to help you understand the deeper why that drives you in your life and in your business and in your day-to-day everything. And then we're having put together a list of that. I'm going to help to accelerate you in terms of understanding how to shorten it. So the workbook in front of you, the document should look something like this that says, find your why to rock your life. That's what it's all about. Then there's a brief overview, an interview, and a summary of myself and our team at Sales Mastery Company, but I don't want to dwell on that. What I want to get into is, of course, the meat in the sandwich, which is what really, really matters, which is to understand the power of your why. As I mentioned, it is your why in your inner heart, which is what gets you out of bed in the morning with a spring in your step, not just your alarm clock that wakes you up and disturbs you from your deep slumber. It is also about us understanding a way to make you in today's moment. This is an exercise, in fact, I'd love you to repeat in your life at least once a year. It's something we've been coaching sales managers through our Sales Manager Accelerator, salespeople through our Sales Mastery Program on for many, many times, because this is what drives you. Simon Sinek talked about the start with why, wrote a whole book on start with why, lectured the world on start with why. And what he was commenting on from a branding perspective was that people don't care what you make and what you do, and they don't even care how good you are at doing it. What they really care about, what makes people loyal for life beyond logic, and I mean that in heart rather than head, is why you exist as a business. And it's a useful exercise for your sales and your marketing and your management team to go through or watch a YouTube video on Simon Sinek Start With Why. Well, the same goes for you and your motivation and your approach to life. It is your why that drives how well you work and how well you do what you do and how committed you are to your friends, your family, your community, your clients, your suppliers, your colleagues, whomever that happens to be. That governs it. It's the heart of you is the why. It governs how you behave. And of course, how you behave determines what you do and how well you do that in terms of the results. You know, I was coaching people online in a Sales Mastery Academy today, and I said, there's essentially very simply a 3-step process for any sales team to go through in order to achieve greater results. A, they choose to do it. So that's a mindset shift, a decision, a commitment, a setting of a standard. Step 2, they have to act on that. It's the behaviors that they then employ as a result of making a collective decision or an individual commitment. And then finally, number 3, the results come from the behaviors that you exhibit or the actions you take. So again, same 3 circles, same 3 steps. This is what I want you to do right now. Please, if you're watching this in recorded form, you can stop the video and double the duration I give you if you want to. But I'm going to challenge you right now in 1 minute to write down 5 things you want to own in your life, that you want to buy or possess in your life. 5 things. Go. Got 1 minute or 2 if you want to do this over a half an hour period. 15 seconds gone. You got 45 to go. And yes, if you have to expand this to an hour process, I'm okay with that. 5 things. 5 things. You can take an hour. I really discourage you from going longer than that. 30 seconds gone. 5 things you want to own or possess. You might not be materialistic. In fact, this doesn't make you materialistic by doing this. Just saying there might be 5 things. Could be a house, could be an apartment, could be a sports car, whatever makes you happy. Could be a watch, whatever makes you happy. 10 seconds to go. Next things to add to this table or add to this list. Thank you to my team for sharing the link to this as well. Next 5 things. You've got 1 minute to do this. 5 people, dead or alive, that you most admire. 5 people, dead or alive, that you most admire. For me, there's Scott of the Antarctic or Ernest Shackleton. They would be 2 of my list. Who's on your list? You got 40 seconds. Dead or alive? I won't go into a spiritual conversation about people being dead or alive. That's always a fascinating conversation, but not for today. 30 seconds to go. 5 people you most admire. Coming up to 20 seconds to go. Stick with me, people. Stick with me, people. You pulled over at the side of the road. Thank you for being safe. This is not a good exercise to try to memorize. 10 seconds to go. 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 1 more minute. Ready to go. 5 things on your list. 5 traits or character traits you most admire in yourself or others. 5 character traits, 5 behaviors, 5 attitudes, if you like, that you most admire in yourself or in others. $20 seconds to go. Coming up to 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, 1 more minute. You're now pushing from numbers 16 to 20 on your list. What I'd like you to write down in 1 minute, please. 5 achievements you want to have in your future. Now, you can decide whether that's your future in the next month, in the next year, in the next decade, or by the end of your life. But 5 achievements that you want to accomplish in your future. You've got just over 30 seconds. $15 seconds to go. 5 achievements. Coming up to the last one. We want to complete this list of 25. If you don't get to 25, that's okay. Okay, stop the achievements one. Final one, numbers 21 to 25 on your list, please. 5 experiences you'd like to have in your life. This could be business, it could be personal, could be family. Just 5 experiences. You've talked about 5 possessions. Now 5 experiences that you would like to have. You got 40 seconds. 5 experiences. Bungee jumping off Mount Everest might be top of your list. Who knows? 5 experiences you want to have. Again, the time pressure is significant. I'm only giving you a minute. If you do need to repeat this with someone in your team, taking a couple of minutes is okay, but don't give them too long to think. They'll overthink it, and that's not good. 10 seconds to go. Okay, fantastic. So you should now be finished up. Now, if you've taken the time to do this, if you're sitting at your desk, the chances are you will have a list of 25 things. If you've only got a list of 10 or 15 things, that's okay. Though I would encourage you, if you're watching this in recorded form, to stop now and get past 20. Try to push yourself past 20. If you can't do that, and likewise, don't stress. If you've got things on your list that are on there twice, they're probably very important to you. So from that perspective, it's okay if you've got double ups, and likewise, it's okay if you've got a few gaps. But ideally, you wouldn't have any more than 5 gaps. So ideally, what you would do is you pause the video now, you'd throw in a few extra if you needed to. And if you've got a double up, you would add something else so that in total, you have a minimum of 20 different things. And again, in total, if you got to 25, it's great. I know we've given you a 26 box there, but ideally 1 to 25 is optimum. Now, what we're trying to get to is to find out what are the big 5 things that really, really matter to you in your life. And then after that, we're trying to get down to the final one. So what we actually need you to do in your document or in your scrap of paper you've got in front of you right now is we now need to cull. So what I now need you to do, please, is to just take 1 minute to look at your list and remove 5 things from that list. So if you've got any gaps, those count as some of the 5. We're trying to get your list from 20 down to the top 20 things that are the most important things overall to you. On that list, you've got possessions, you've got experiences you want to have, you've got people you admire, character traits or characteristics or behaviors about people that you admire in yourself or others. You've got people on that list, you know, that motivate you and drive you, things you want to achieve. You've got a good list there. We want to get you from 25 down to 20 exactly. By the book, this is no rules around this in terms of anything other than you've got to get 5 off your list. So if you've got any duplicates, tick those off. Every one you tick off is 1. If you've got any gaps, tick those off and get your list down to 20. No more, no less than 20 on your list. You got 10 more seconds. Now, I'm not dismissing those and saying they're never going to be valuable to you if you've just clocked a few things off. What I'm saying, though, is when looking at your list, these are the things. These are not your big 5. These are not the things that are driving all aspects around your life and why you get out of bed in the morning. You might get out of bed for other reasons, as I said. Now, I want you to cull that list from 20 down to 15. So the first thing you do is if there are any more gaps, ideally there wouldn't be, but if there were any more gaps, 1 minute, if there are any more gaps there, cross those off, count each one you cross off. If there are any more duplicates, you might not have any left there. I would like you to cross off the next 5 that are not as important to you. Want to be remaining with 15 here. We're not saying they don't matter. We're just saying we want to remain with 15, and then we can really get to work. Again, this time pressure is deliberate, by the way. This process has been proven by psychologists around the world, life coaches around the world, by ourselves around the world. It's simple, it's easy, and it works. If you need to expand it to 30 minutes, I'm okay with that. An hour is fine, but no more than an hour. Don't overthink it. The pressure matters. The process matters. Trust me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, count your list. You should be at 15 now. You should be at 15 now. Now the pressure starts to come on. So what I now want us to do is to start to cull again. So to make it a little bit easier for yourself, I'm not going to ask you to cross off the next 5. I just want you to cross off 4, please. So I want you to go back to your list. You've got 1 minute now. Cross 4 off your list that don't matter as much to you as the remaining 11. And at the end of this exercise of 1 minute, you should have 11 remaining. Just take 4 off this time. When you look at your list, and every time you do this, this is reinforcing to you, that person's important to me, or that's something I want to achieve, or that's a possession I want to have, or that's an experience I want to have, or that's something I stand by. That's a principle. That's a characteristic. That's a value. I love that one. Got 30 seconds to go. Take 4 things off the list, please. Again, you can message us for this template afterwards. We'd love you to get access to this. We're a few minutes away. We're going to wrap this up pretty soon. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Now you should have 11. Quickly count that up. Okay, same exercise, just take 3 off. Same exercise, take 3 more off your list. Get down to 8. Look through the list. If there are things there where you think, you know what, those are pretty similar, let's get rid of the second one. You might only need one to represent it. I'm not saying that's gone for good from your life. You still got this list. You got the workbook. But again, take 3 off that list. Let's get down to 8. Still got a minute, or more specifically, 35 seconds of your minute to just remove 3. Again, I know the pressure's on, but that's deliberate. If you think the pressure's on now, just wait for it in a moment. Coming up to 20 seconds to go. We're going to wrap up as close to 15 minutes as we can. Okay, we're finishing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. Keep going. You just took off 3. Now take 3 more off. Take 3 more things off your list that do not matter to you as much as the others. Whether your list is full of possessions you want to have, achievements you want to have, experiences you want to experience, or whether they're all full of character traits, it's entirely up to you. But you've got 30 seconds to get your list from 8 through to 5. Just going to give you another 10 seconds. Let's get that list down to 5. Then we're just going to take a moment to breathe. Okay, 3, 2, 1, done. Now, whether you're working on a scrap of paper, whether you're typing this in notes on the text message to yourself or notes on your iPhone, whatever you happen to be doing right now, these are your big 5. So whether you circle them on paper or whether you write them onto the next page of the handouts, these are the things that are typically getting you out of bed in the morning, putting a spring in your step, keeping you focused at work, keeping you focused in your personal life. And whether there's a blurred line between professional and personal life, this is what's driving you. Now you've got a better understanding of you. This would be something I'd want you, if you're married, share it with your spouse. If you've got a best friend, share it with your best friend. If you've got a closest colleague, share it with them. You want them to understand this is what drives me. This is why I am the way I am at the moment in my life, because in a year's time, it might change slightly or subtly. That's okay. You get married, you have children, your priorities will change. I get that. I'm okay with that. That's a wonderful blessing of life. But the fact remains is these are the big 5 for you. And now, of course, I'm going to get you to push even further. So you've now got, so those 5, record them, write them, circle them, do whatever you need to do, share them if you can. But let's push further. Take 2 more off your list. Let's go from 5 to 3. You've got 20 seconds. If you look at those 5, if you were to say 2 of them don't matter as much to me as my top 3, take 2 more off your list. You've got 15 seconds to go. Let's get from 5 to 3. Let's start understanding when push comes to shove, when challenged by me, what's really my intrinsic motivation in life, what really drives me and makes me achieve amazing outcomes and makes me go the extra mile and mile and mile and mile again. Fantastic. We're done. Great. Now you're down to 3. 2 more off your list. This is the last time you have to do it. Look at that list. And I know this is going to cause anxiety. And I know it's going to cause pressure. I know this is something that puts you under undue pressure. And I'm sorry for not being fair, but I care about you. And I love to see you do wonderful things with your life. And by doing so is of your big 5, let's connect to the 1. You got 15 more seconds. Get rid of 2 out of those 3. We're not saying they're gone from your life because they still made the top 5 or big 5 list. But let's get to the heart of the moment. Because what I've made you do right now is to not only look at different aspects of your life, 5 different areas, 5 items for each area, is I've then got you to go again and again and again. And despite me challenging you, we've driven down to 5 things that really, really drive you. And then by spending another minute, we've driven you to say, this is why I get out of bed in the morning. This point alone needs to be shared with your spouse, your best friend, your closest colleague, even some of your clients maybe, so they understand why you do and why you act the way you act, because that's something that they'll either really like or they won't be aligned to, in which case at some point the relationship's going to break down. Now, what I've covered off today, I want to congratulate for. If you did it live with me, well done. If you did a recorded form, well done as well. Take action on this. All of these aspects, everything we teach in our lives typically comes from our sales academy. It's something we're really passionate about doing. And if you know any businesses out there that are trying to smash through those glass ceilings of the 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, or indeed 20 million mark, those are our bread and butter clients. If they're already making $1 billion, sorry, I can't help. I work for one of the largest companies on the planet, but that's not where our passion lies, because our why is to help ethical family companies do wonderful things. We want to help the Davids of the world take down the Goliaths of the world. That's what gets us out of bed in the morning. And part of that is a mindset shift. Part of that is a behavioral shift. And if we help people understand that, and if we hold them accountable through our sales academy, they do wonderful things and stay loyal for life and refer their friends. And that's how we've grown our business for the last 18 plus years around the world. So if you or any member of your team who's a manager wants to book in for a free 15-minute scale-up call with one of our phenomenal coaches, then please click on the link in the workbook or send us a message and say, I'd like a free phone call. We'll have a chat about where are you right now? What do you want to achieve as a manager and as a business team, especially in the world of sales in the future? And let's chat about some of those roadblocks. If we can help you, we'll give you a free strategy session. If we don't think we can help you, we'll point you in the right direction. My name is Ambrose Blowfield. We're the Sales Mastery Company. And as always, take action.